didn't push the go live button.
Oh boy, yeah, everyone is sitting here just wondering what's going on. they're trying to get a hold of you. Hit the go live button.
Oh my gosh, I've been talking for the last 10 minutes. I thought I wasn't gonna boomer things. I had this whole thing where I was talking about like the new Devastator and kind of welcoming people. I was talking about horror movies. People are gonna hear all that now.
yeah. I just put it in chat. Hey guys, Ironcaster found the go live button.
Look, this is not, it's not because this is Monday, okay? This is, you know what? I have been on vacation for the last, like, week. I'm just rusty. Yeah, that's it. This isn't because Monday is cursed.
Or this is the first time you've ever ran this program before.
I mean, that's not entirely right or wrong.
There we go. Hey, Ironcaster, there's a go live button with OBS, man. I told you. Now you got to put it on a sticky note and put it on the bottom of your monitor.
It's like, I always talk about the importance of redundancies, and starting the stream has its own redundancy I did not take into consideration. So let's try this again, because hello folks, welcome one and all to the Mechpit chat, where we are here to ease into your Monday with a nice little positive, upbeat stream. With me today is my dear friend Tabletop Junkie, who is currently muted. So, hello, my friend, and welcome. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Sorry, I was trying to figure out dinner plans.
No, you're good.
I know. What are we looking at here? Devastator.
Yes. So this was something that had just kind of got out, that was just recently announced over the weekend, and well, come on, that little Transformer fan, and I think in myself and in you as well, which would be excited to hear news of like a brand new Devastator.
Ironcaster, I have a bunch of books that say Transformers on them. I'm also got the season 1. I think I got the complete series of G1. Who says I'm not a fan?
Perfect. So does that mean you're gonna be picking up that Beast Wars source book, by the way?
Oh yeah, when it comes out. Is it out yet?
No, I think I've got the Renegades site up on a tab. I can check later. But anyway, so we did get some news over the weekend that Hasbro has decided that they were going to do something that makes me want to give them money, and that is a new Devastator.
Nice. What were they doing that they were pulling out of? I couldn't remember. I thought that was Transformers, and we thought, hey, that's horrible because there's still money in Transformers.
Well, no, the thing is, Transformers is still quite the moneymaker for them, because the legacy fans will buy the same toy design 3 times over. Gotta have your Starscream, your Thundercracker, your Skywarp. You're just like, every set's gotta have an Optimus Prime.
Well, there's that. But you know what? If they ever change the forms in the cartoons, they have to come out with a new form for that Starscream. Starscream with the weapons mode, where he gets like this extended vehicle version of himself. And of course, we're gonna buy that 3 times over.
Mm-hmm. Right, because then they'll put it in blue, they'll put it in red, they'll put it in purple, and the diehards will buy it. So this was sort of a little bit of news. Then we're starting to see little bits and pieces of it. This is going to be kind of brought. They're not going to drop the whole thing at one time, because I think they sort of made that mistake with like some of these previous lines, and people just could not find them. So instead, they're going to kind of take your time and
Return of the Titans or whatever. It was I think it was like they did a show.
Oh yeah, Combiner Wars.
And they released them all, the Combiner Wars, and then remember the Return of the Primes or Return of the Titans or something like that. Like there was a secondary season after that, and they did that. And unfortunately, one store would run out of the other. I actually used to work for a store that sold them, and like when there was a new fad in, it got them in, and they ended up running out of like one thing. Like for some reason, everyone bought Brun Crusher at the exact same time.
And well, yeah, that's because Bone Crushers. In that case, Bone Crusher, or it was. They've also done that with like guys like the Menosaurs before, where you can get just the off road, or you can get you know, one of the other pieces whose names I can never remember.
Well, right. Well, I mean, it would help if like some of these parents were nerds like we were. Well, see, here's how I figure it went down. You get the kids who ogle those things and wants those things just because, so they'll just pick up a random transformer, not knowing what each one really is. Then you get the parents that are not really nerds, and they will buy the same transformer over and over again and not be able to piece the piece together and go, why can't we piece this together? This is another one. And then you just get one sale of one or two things, and then like when somebody says, hey, I got Mixmaster and Scavenger, but I need Bone Crusher, and then that one's not available. Then you get diehard nerds like us.
Well, I mean, that, and you also have the other issue of the collectors. You have collectors and scalpers. Both those groups are going to be going in there trying to get those key chase figures. Like, they're going to want one of the pieces that combines, and they're going to ignore these other sort of one-offs. You know,
you are 100% correct.
Yeah, like certain characters are going to always sell. Starscream, Bumblebee, Optimus Prime, Megatron. There's like those sort of those key like prime shelf material, no pun intended. And then you're gonna have some of the lessers that maybe you'll buy a Perceptor, or maybe you'll buy a Skywarp, but you're not gonna go out and collect tons of them.
Yeah, exactly.
So. As we can see, we've gotten a little bit of tease for what to expect with them all. So, sort of our first two, it looks like should be according to this dated to come out in April, which is going to be the Bone Crusher and Scrapper, which are going to be like $25 and $35 each. Meaning that we're talking by the end of this, probably somewhere in the ballpark of about $200 to fill out Devastator.
Right.
It sucks, but at the same time, you're not going to feel it as much if you don't have to buy it all at one time. So I'm kind of glad for that.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, we also got, they're doing a Megatronus, which looks pretty sick, all things considered. And then, of course, we have the big bad himself. Now, I've got a couple concerns with it, because I look at this and this is the prototype here.
I was about to say that's not the finished product, is it?
No, this is this is the unfinished. Like, they haven't done. This is sort of like all done in basically like a basic gray PVC plastic that they'll do for the proofs for the molds.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
And I'm looking at this wondering, are we gonna get individually like opening and closing fingers, or is it just gonna be one solid like hand piece? Because that's sort of a big deal for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's him too. But what else do we have? There was also some other stuff kind of coming out, but I was hoping to see if there was anything else here that was kind of worth checking out. But that was kind of it for the Transformers news.
So the Techno-Organic Secrets book, which is the Beast Wars one, actually comes supposed to be. We'll stop pre-ordering in March of 2025.
Okay, so which, by the way, if you don't happen to really let me take that off the screen so I can make sure I don't pull up all the lewds.
Ironcaster, you're a dirty birdie.
Well, I wanted to celebrate America, and this is on the screen. We've got a lovely representation of America. And that seems like a good, healthy use of the background there to fill that in.
Fair enough.
By the way, Vince Womack says there were 3 shows: Combiner Wars, Titan's Return, and Power of the Primes. These were the Machinima animated series. And I remember they went and had Will Wheaton voicing Perceptor. Yeah. Oh, the totally not a big old jerk, Will Wheaton.
I remember the 3D CGI was just like a new thing, because we had around that time that we had Beast Wars, we also had Reboot, where we were able to do full on CGI computer generated stuff, and it's like this is one of the first cartoons for that, and I loved it. I'm like, this doesn't remind me of Transformers. They're going from animals to robots, and then back to animals again. What? And it's like, you know what? I ended up liking it.
Oh, it was fantastic. That for me. That was my introduction into Beast Wars. Like, what some of the first toys I had were there was an early an early prototype where they were gonna make Optimus a bat and Megatron a crocodile.
Oh yeah, and they actually ended up doing that. Oh, like they released a toy line for that or something. I don't know if it was the first Beast Wars or the second set of Beast Wars, but there was actually some comics for that, I think, back in that time too. I ended up getting Optimus Minor, which he was a chimpanzee. He wasn't a full-on gorilla. He was more of a chimpanzee. And then his transmetal, and then I had his transmetal form, where he was kind of able to split his legs apart and use them as gliders.
Oh yeah, and of course some of that came from the fact that like Japan had its own toys that they were doing for the Beast Wars, and those were sort of their own separate thing.
Nice.
So they were sort of not tied into the American continuity. I think maybe a smidge, but it was like eventually they sort of realized, yeah, we'll just do our own thing. With that new Renegade book for Transformers, it's at $45 for the source book. If you are enjoying the system, like I have been, I've gone and played through a campaign of it, and I kind of want to play through it again some more. I wouldn't mind.
I actually have no complaints of Essence 20 particularly, because I actually ended up making using the Power Rangers and made up used the same rule set to do a Kamen Rider adventure with my kids, and they loved it, I loved it, and I'm like, you know what, I can get used to this, and the milestone system is just freaking awesome. You know what, I never thought I would actually like that kind of thing, but you know what, it grew on me. It grew.
Well, that's sort of a funny thing there, because there's a lot of assumptions people make around role-playing games where it's like there's a certain way they all have to be, and it's like not really, because like as much as I enjoy like going out and swinging a big sword and that, I also want to be able to like emulate some of my favorite shows, and the Essence 20 kind of does the job for that, of kind of filling the role of that sort of that kind of hokey 90s, after school special of the Power Rangers was, where we gotta go and we gotta have our little drama of the week, and maybe by the end of like the third or fifth episode or so, we'll have someone getting a power up, and then we get to have their champion mode. And speaking of champions, we have a guest joining us here with Mr. Punkwaddle. Hello, sir. Who is muted?
Do you think he figure out to find the unmute button? I don't know if he notices. He could be talking. We don't know. But if he's muted, that's a little bit better than not being able to find the go live button.
Oh.
You hear me now?
Yes.
Oh yeah. So that was a audio issue. So still a lot better than not being able to find the go live button.
Oh no, it's Discord was still loading up, so I opened up the Discord window, and so when I clicked on the chat, it just wasn't populating the right things. Like I couldn't. It was just slow loading the actual page, but I'm here now.
Okay.
Well, that is still a better excuse than Iron did. I got in here and Iron's like, "Hey, we're live." I'm like, "You're not live on YouTube," and he's like, "Oh my god, there's a go live button that I didn't hit."
Oops.
Yeah, he's got to tease me some more here. All right,
I'm done. I'm done.
I thought I went live, and I turned out no.
Well, we've all had moments.
Not me. I don't know what you're talking about.
All right.
Although I do have this bad thing to realize that when I start off, that I'm muted originally, so I forgot to hit the unmute buttons.
Well, see, my mistakes are your learning lessons. Like you can at least like fall asleep at night thinking to yourself like, wow, at least I don't mess up like Ironcaster does. I feel better about myself. And it really isn't that the spirit of what we're doing here, just to like make people feel better starting into the week.
Yeah, because you got to start off the week strong. Because if it starts out crappy, it's just downhill from there.
Indeed.
I don't know. It feels like a weird week. Start of the week, because
it is. It is very.
I don't
weird.
want to rub it in, but some of us were still traveling back from San Antonio today.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry I wasn't able to make that.
I know, and I understand. And I wish you could have, and I'm not trying to be mean about it, but wish you could have been there for sure.
Yeah. Oh no, don't worry. It's like apparently by staying here, I was forced to go and have to like work in the garage and put a ceiling in.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, boy, I'm sure glad I didn't go to San Antonio. I'm drinking beer. So, yeah, all things considered, it wasn't a bad weekend for me. I had some family coming to town that I hadn't seen in a while, and we got to make a little time for that. Good. Oh my gosh, snacks!
Very good.
Hang on, I need to make sure I can.
I was kid-free for the weekend, so I sat down and worked on tabletop stuff.
Okay.
Because I'm the junkie, and that's why I do what I do.
I mean, that makes sense. It's a lot of sense.
It does, but doesn't make dollars.
Unfortunately, it doesn't make me any money as much as I like to spend it. I actually have to go work for all that. So I went to a gaming shop today. We're not gonna get too much into the backstory, but I went to a gaming shop today. I was talked into it by my girlfriend, and then she regretted it immediately because as soon as I got there, I said, "Okay, I gotta have this book. I gotta have this book," and she's like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna pick up 2 dice." And then I'm going to pick up this book, and then I'm going to pick up this GM screen.
And you reached over and you slapped the dice out of her hand and said, no, I need that money more.
No, I bought her the dice. But then what she didn't realize is I went to Humble Bundle and bought the entire collection of Mutants and Mastermind or whatever they were selling for that.
You just looked over and said... You just looked over and said, like, I don't care what it is. It's a role-playing game I don't have. It's being bought.
No, actually, I played Mutants Mastermind before. I love it. It's a superhero game. Who doesn't like superhero? Who doesn't like to be Spider-Man, Peter Parker, swinging from building to building?
And you're going to beat yourself up for the next 2 weeks.
I don't know what you're talking about. I feel nothing.
Let me make sure It looks like Snacks made it onto the server. I just gotta drop the little voice chat here to make sure he finds his way in because it's just kind of make sure everything's sort of lined up and working and what have you.
Streamline it for the mind behind Gator. Sometimes it helps.
Yeah. So
what else do we have to talk about?
Well,
Ironcaster, I was promised mechs and tabletop games. We got tabletop games and sort of mechs, but is there any other mechs?
Well, there was an anime story I wanted to share with you guys.
Sweet.
Let's talk about the taste of two good things that go good together. Of course, we have anime and Jesus.
Oh no! Here we go. And here is where religion gets an anime.
The Vatican unveils its official anime girl mascot.
Oh boy.
What? What?
Yes.
Okay. That's interesting.
If you check in the voice chat, like I should have the window, the display pulled up so you can at least see what I'm looking at.
I am.
Okay.
I am seeing it right now. I'm very concerned.
The question is, the thing is, we see what you have. We don't necessarily like it.
Well,
I'm trying to understand the. I don't understand the connection point between.
They're trying to reach out to a they're trying to reach out to an audience to come to Jesus.
Yeah, but did pizza parties work in the 90s?
Yeah, but I cannot say what I'm about to say next. So continue, Aaron.
Well, I mean, it's being done because they want to make sure they can kind of lean into what all the attention is, and they kind of didn't pick badly with an anime, but oh no, they've created an anime girl for the internet, and the internet is going to internet.
Is that an anime girl that verified?
I mean, at least they went with girl. Generally, most religious groups, and I don't speak for the Catholic religion because I'm not Catholic.
There's
they
the obvious
go for guys. Like,
Yeah, look, there's that obvious Catholic joke, but in a way, I feel like it's right there. You almost don't want to make the joke.
I don't know.
No! I already steered away from that joke. I was literally just making a comment about the fact that in most religious religions, they actually glorify males because we are, in the Bible, we're actually the providers. So men are generally the mascots for all of that. And we're in a man's world. Let's face it. Women are, not trying to say anything bad. I don't approve of that. But, hey, they did an anime girl.
So the Vatican's unveiled a new cute anime girl mascot, hoping to create characters that, quote, can represent the sentiments that resonate in the hearts of the younger generations. This new character is named Lucy, which means light in Italian. Helps to, quote, guide young pilgrims towards hope and faith, according to the Catholic News Agency.
Okay.
Lucy and her friends were designed by the Tokidoki co-founder Simone Lagano. Lucy is joined by her dogs Santiano, alongside her friend Faye, Xin, and Sky, with a design reminiscent of Sanrio characters. Lucy and her friends wear colorful raincoats and boots to help travel on a holy pilgrimage. Lucy and her friends have unique markings on their eyes, which Jubilee Chief Organizer Archbishop Reno Fisichella describes as, quote, a symbol of hope in the heart. Hope of the heart.
I kind of feel like I'm seeing a nice friendly version of Power Rangers right here with all their color codes and stuff like that. Yeah. I'm like, gee, they could have just went with religious Power Rangers. That would have still did the trick, I guess, but okay.
Earth, fire, wind, water, fire.
Gator!
Kind of like
Your
a
powers
Charlie
combined.
Sheen,
I am Captain Jesus. Wait, what?
That would have been anticlimactic. We would have been like, "What is this? What the shit?" No,
well, by our powers combined, we have summoned Gator. We have summoned Snacks and Comics. How's it going, buddy?
Oh, it's going good. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'm on my phone, so hopefully I don't robot too much. Fingers crossed, right? My computer's still had to set up all that stuff. I was mostly resting today. It was a long day of flying yesterday.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, I believe it. Did you have to work, or were you off today?
I'm off until I work Halloween. So.
Okay.
That's right. You're good.
Yeah. So I get to have a pumpkin carving stream tomorrow if I can find a pumpkin.
Ooh.
Yep. But yeah. Had a good time in Texas. Punkwaddle was there, obviously. Yep. And he gave me some gunplug because he's awesome.
Agent Despot, you kind of hit it right on the head, on the nail there. Hit the nail on the head there. You mean the anime girls that won't be sexualized? I don't think they thought this out.
Okay, I was trying to stay away from that, but
well,
it looks like
that
we're going there.
Oh, that was sort of my first thought about the character here, because, like, if you've ever seen, like, the internet with Nintendo announcing a new Pokemon game, like, literally within 5 minutes, like, of a new Pokemon or a new character being introduced, there is going to be the most degenerate, lewd material available. The character hasn't even been public for 30 minutes. Like, an hour has passed, and there was already 100 art pieces on Rule 34.
Yeah, I was about to say this. They age them up and they hit them hard, and well, sometimes they don't age them up, but we don't look at that stuff. Yeah.
Oh no.
But yeah, Rule 34. It is can get quite messy, and quite literally sometimes.
Well, I mean, we say Rule 34 is undefeated, but I mean, we've seen the fight that it took for Concord to get anything.
Oh no, there's plenty of feet in Rule 34. There's plenty of feet.
Yeah, but Concord Rule 34.
Oh, Concord Rule 34. Oh, there has to be at least one image, but honestly, that's even like, does anyone look for it though? You know, that's the thing. Will anyone check?
1, 2, 3, not it.
Yeah, not it either. We'll pretend like it's there, but no one's looking at it.
I'm a parent, so I'd rather pretend that it doesn't exist.
Yeah, anyone with a functioning brain will pretend it doesn't exist.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
we have functioning brains.
Brains. And it's so I've got one other little article here to bring up, and this is somewhat adjacent to this here, and it's kind of shows you how weird things are, because if the Catholic Church is getting on the trend of people like anime, then what does this say when you have people like Glenn Beck kind of trying to ban it in his household?
Conservative pundit Glenn Beck bans daughters from
dating gamers.
We're talking tabletop gamers, video gamers. There's very different grades of this.
Well, gamers is well, you gotta remember, Junkie. Gamers has largely been seen as the R word for the people who play video games.
Yeah.
Oh.
Gamers are the most oppressed people around.
Yeah. I think he just doesn't want like people like that one guy. Was his name Destiny? Yeah. It's people like that, you know. It's like, don't date people like this. And what is the other big gamers like Ninja and like all these like psycho, like I don't say psycho, but they're kind of off the cuff guys, really big in gaming world, and you know they. Yeah.
Well, it wasn't there that whole thing a month or two ago about like why girls don't date gamers and all these weird reasons. Like there's I feel like there's just been this, seems like a reaction to the public thing of, you know, making gamers are the bad guys because gamers are terrible and gamers are toxic because gamers don't like the games they're putting out, and the same thing they did with Hollywood and saying the, you know, making it for modern audience instead of old audience, and it's like,
I forgot.
It's just pop culture.
Disney hates me because I didn't watch Acolyte, but I don't watch TV, so don't know what to tell that one.
Yeah, I don't pay for Disney no more. If there's something I want to freaking look into, I might just I'll ask Squidbeard to show it to me.
So, conservative radio host and co-owner of owner of the Blaze TV, Glenn Beck, has recently been causing controversy by once again making statements against gamers. Oh, I'm having.
We could have been friends.
The heck, sorry. There's not enough videos to maintain smooth streaming as such viewers. Oh, I'll figure that out later. Anyway, let's see. He went even further, saying, "I wouldn't allow my daughter to date a man who collects figurines either." He's calling both hobbies equally weakening to what it means to be a man. So, no gunpla in the Beck household.
What if he does gunpla and he works out?
I was to say, how many of us actually go to the gym? Show of hands, because I do. I pay for a gym membership.
Well, do you actually go?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I used to have a freaking Planet Fitness one, and I didn't go for like quite a while, and then I actually went, and then I outgrew that place and got a real gym membership. But yeah.
Yeah. Yes, you better watch out. You better watch out, Junkie, because Coach Murphy might be having some words for you.
Oh yeah. Well, Coach Murphy, he's a little soured because he got taken out by a true gamer, Loki. Loki took him out.
Oh no!
Yeah.
It was pretty epic.
Oh, but yeah, Loki better watch out. Your coach is gonna try to get his title back.
Oh, did Loki run off with his belt?
Yeah, he did. Darn it. He's not the final boss no more. Shoot.
He continued making disparaging statements on his radio show throughout the week about weak men who, in his view, were so obsessed with playing video games that they weren't noticing the people trying to plug everyone into a video game against their will. This is referencing a conspiracy that Mark Zuckerberg and other elites at Silicon Valley are plotting to enwrap the world in a Ready Player One style simulation.
Cool.
I mean, so he's basically worried about the metaverse.
Yeah.
And that thing has just failed for all these years. It's not caught on, which is hilarious when we remember that like Mark Zuckerberg rebranded his entire company to Meta and just lost all that recognition that people had around Facebook.
Sounds about right.
But I mean, this just kind of shows you that, like, you know, for all the complaints people have about all the woke stuff going on in entertainment, the conservatives at the end of the day can be just as against it all. I mean, let's not forget guys like Matt Walsh are out there who hates everything that isn't like.
It doesn't make sense to Matt Walsh because he's like a couple years older than me, but shoot, I guess he was never really into that kind of. I guess he was just studying Bible nonstop or whatever. I don't freaking know, don't care.
The
But
thing about Walsh, because he did his recently documentary, and where he does stuff like that, he's pretty funny and on point. I wonder if he's just doing awkward. Like, he might not like anime for whatever reasons, but I think sometimes he's just, like, trolling. Sometimes he's just trying to get... He doesn't have a horse in the fight, so he's just, like, you know, trying to get interaction, and it's not always good optics when, like you said, there's some of the conservative sides that just... there's a culture war, but they don't understand that all these... fandoms, all these fictions based on people's real life experiences, all these things that helped shape a generation when they weren't at work, and all this stuff is now this thing that they're saying is silly and shouldn't exist. And you're like, well, the great minds who created these things, like Tolkien, like Lucas early on, Star Wars, and all these things that, and Gene Roddenberry, like that captured some generation, more than one generation's imagination. And to say those people weren't inspiring is just, it kind of, in some ways, negates so much of the human experience. And it's sad to say, like, I get that, like, if you don't agree with esports and gaming as, like, a professional career, you may not like it, but some people make money off it, right? Like, yeah, I get that, but there comes to a point where it's like, these things exist, and, you know, it's just like, you can meet a tatted up biker wearing all leather, just like the kindest soul you've ever met, versus some soccer mom in a minivan who, you know, Karen, that
super Karen,
you know, it's all the books by the covers and stuff.
I will say this. You know, some people like Matt Walsh or whatnot, like they like to kick the bee's nest. You know what I mean? And they don't really care what kind of honey's being made. They just want the buzz. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They want that attention. They want everyone to talk about them and stuff like that. Because, like, how do you have, like, people who don't really care about you? How do you get them to talk about you? You have a big name, and you shit on the thing that they love, and it's negative attention. But guess what the weebs and the gamers were talking about when he freaking shot on gaming and anime? They were just talking about him for like a week and a bit, you know. So it's like that. It's, what do they call it? Like a attention trolling or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, it's just like sometimes I do fall into that trap too. You know, I fall into the little attention troll trap, and I have to say something about it. And you know, it's good content. You know, and you know, it's just attention farming. That's what it's called. Reaction farming. There we go. Reaction farming. Yeah. That's the term I was fishing for.
That's a different term.
That's a different term. I don't do that. But yeah,
Anyway.
it is what it is. If they don't like it, guess what? You don't have to react to them. You know, they have freedom of speech, and you have freedom of your own reaction. And don't let them dictate what you're gonna, you know, you can react to them if you want. You know, it's like,
I think we need to react to what's on screen now.
Yeah, and
that is just precious.
And I'm so happy that, like, the first fan art I'm seeing of the new Catholic anime girl is it's wholesome, like her with Jesus.
That is good. I just want that. That's like the.
Jesus loves anime, then you can too.
Yeah.
Don't worry, guys. I have the power of God and anime on my side.
Yep. Your soul is saved, there, Ironcaster. Your soul is saved.
Yeah, they didn't really think this through at all.
They have anime in heaven. Yes.
Meanwhile, the anime in heaven.
Speaking of, sorry, I went back to look at the chat.
In heaven, they have the newest Dragon Ball and an actually completed Berserk. Oh, we lost too many good legends.
Yep,
Yes,
that's true.
Have. Yes, we have.
But speaking of anime, are any of you guys planning to go catch the Overlord movie in theaters?
I am not cut up. I don't know.
I haven't been really catching with that. I'm not the biggest Overlord fan, to be honest. So my answer is going to be no. Unfortunately. If they come out with a Gundam movie, yes. If they come out with there's a couple movies I'd probably go to, but Overlord is not my jam. Sorry.
Oh, that's such a shame.
Look beautiful. This looks beautiful animation. My goodness.
Oh, I should probably put something on screen here. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, really, it's, and I'm sorry. I came to just love Overlord as a series because it is that power fantasy of a series where you have a character who's like the highest level endgame boss suddenly dropped into a world where there are a bunch of like level 2 mooks. Here you are, level 15. So it's like, you know, it's like they're nothing. By the way, Agent Despel, Overlord is nothing but villains, and I know you're all about the villains.
Yeah, it's pretty much villain. It's way too high pitched villainy, and you know, it's like all the good guys that they'll drum them up. Yeah, this is the good guy, and your main character is the villain. He just marks them like crazy. Just, you know, so like, I can see the appeal, but I'm not appealed. Yeah, I watched like the first like season and a half. I watched like half the second season. I'm like, okay, I'm done.
I'm an unashamed like fan of the series. It was like the time. So I started watching this show right around the time. Was it Cyberpunk? That Cyberpunk anime came out.
Edge Runners.
Yeah. And like I watched like maybe half the season of that show, and then I was like, yeah, I'll watch a little bit of I was kind of like, I'll watch an episode or so a night of these different shows. And then before I knew it, I was like, I had completely just dropped Edge Runner. I never went back, and then I binged 4 seasons of Overlord.
There you go.
Yeah. There you go.
But yes, this is one I'm a big fan of. Coming to theaters next week is the movie, which I think is supposed to be like an adaptation of one of the next chapters of the light novels, and it's a chance to see a villain as the main character who's now in a position of power. But anyway, sorry, I it was just one that was down off the top of my head that I was like, I wonder if anyone else has seen this.
I've been trying to get around to it, but yeah.
Oh,
I haven't.
Well, you should do it for Albedo.
I've watched like 3 episodes of it a while back. That's about as far as
Yeah, I don't have really any excuse other than just no. So, oh, wait. I do have an excuse. I was reading a book. Or in my case, 500 books, but we won't talk about that.
Hey,
I mean, I think Philip in the chat says it gives you the best reason: the lizard sex.
Oh my god.
Oh,
okay.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, you get lizard people.
Best reason, but that's an interesting reason, I guess.
Yeah, shout out to my scalies out there.
Yeah.
never would have guessed.
Never would have guessed. How many books of those are light novels?
So I think they've done like maybe a dozen.
Okay. Yeah.
Let me look this up.
I am more of a manga reader like crazy because I love it. I'm a big comic book fan, you know what I mean? And just mangas were just my jam. That's how I got introduced into anime, was the mangas. A friend pushed me on, you know, he was like, how do you not know anything about Gundam, blah, 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 you know? Really going hard on me, and he gave me Gundam Wing mangas, and I read a couple of them, and I got piqued interest, and then I just, you know, I dove deep into the deep side of the pool of Gundam / anime in general.
So there are at present 16 volumes of manga and 19 volumes of the light novels. Yeah.
That's cool.
So I did promise Tabletop Junkie some tabletop talk.
Oh, awesome.
And I wanted to see if you've been looking at some of those other books that I've been suggesting to you, because
Find out.
So it's a bit of an interesting little time with the tabletop scene, because you have all these other 5e competitors sort of going online. Pathfinder is still going red hot, and Matt Colville has his $4 million vaporware RPG that he basically sold up front without having a product finished yet.
Nice.
And then we've got guys like Cobalt Press that are out kind of pumping their stuff out. It was just kind of the one I've been starting to take a little bit of an eye at. And just thought I'd ask if you've had a chance to check out anything about the system yet.
Oh, well, since I'm not seeing nothing on the screen at the moment, are you talking about the one you suggested to me earlier that has the 5e, what was it called? Balance, not balance.
Tales of the Valiant?
There you are. Yeah, Tales of the Valiant. Yes.
Here we go.
I did, you know what? Like, yes, I actually have not taken a look at that quite yet. But it's definitely on my list because, I just love fantasy so freaking much. But I'm not a big hater of the 5e system. There are just some things I just like. It has its ups and downs and what it is, but I'm really big. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go with Agent here. I am Castle and Crusades guy all the way, but that doesn't mean I won't buy 5e material and adapt it to the Siege engine at all, because I've actually been doing that a little bit here and there.
Well,
you gotta work with what you got and moderate your thing for your enjoyment. That's for sure.
Well, yeah, yes, because people have forgotten how to. I feel like GMs in today's time forgot how to just improvise and basically go, well, if you like this, but you just don't like the system, you can just convert it. It's very easy. It's math. We forgot how to do math.
And that's sort of part of what happened with sort of the 5e audience. As RPG Pundit has often said, like when he was helping co-design elements of that, there was this assumption that it was intended to be fairly modular and people would be able to do all that. But no, as it kind of turned out, a lot of your modern 5e type audience, especially the vocal ones you tend to see on the internet, have a tendency to, by and large, kind of lean into just playing by the book. So they sort of completely ignored all that, and
right.
that just sort of never happened. And so it's curious to see what's coming about, because we've had so many different games trying to step in and fill this void that's around. And I guess at the end of the day, it's sort of the important question to ask is, what type of game do you want? Do you want to have sort of a quasi superheroic game? In which case, 5e and its derivatives, such as Tales of the Valiant, do a good job of that, where you can kind of be this bigger-than-life hero among people, where you're getting new powers and all these abilities as you level up. But then, of course, if you want to go back to the sort of, if you want to go with a more simpler, like, I want to go into the dungeon, I want to get the treasure, I want to fight the dragon, and I want to loot everything, games like Castle and Crusades are right there and perfectly able to emulate that experience for you. Or
also easy deaths. Sorry, that's just facts.
Or there you have other games such as Axe 2.
Oh boy, here we
go. Which currently has a new Kickstarter out for its next treasure tome, which, by the way, you might want to check out Tabletop Junkie, because it's got some stuff that's going to be fairly compatible for you.
Oh yes. Actually, if I'm not remembering correctly, and I don't think I am, I think I am remembering correctly, X2 was actually written, or was partially written, by Jason Vey, who did some of the work for DLG. Alexander Macris, never mind.
Yes. Yeah, it's Macris. He's been on with us over on The Week in Geek. And Decibel, this is the perfect system for you, because so much of this game is is designed towards that, because it sort of tells you the name on the tin. You start out as the adventurer, but then as you level up, you go on to become the conqueror, and finally the king. You've taken over a territory that you have to oversee, because once you get to be at such a high enough level, once you've built up enough proficiency to yourself, the ways you can earn XP and it's just so diminished for just pulling in gold and treasure, because it doesn't have the same sort of luster to it when you've got an army at your beck and call. Like, you've got other responsibilities to you.
It sounds like you're playing as Conan the Barbarian.
Exactly.
And the Conqueror, and then the King.
Exactly, my friend.
Someone knows their Robert E. Howard.
Mm-hmm. And
who's that?
He wrote the books and short stories.
Yeah, absolutely nerdgasm. A couple things I do like with this system is the idea is they take a lot of these preconceived notions that we have around characters, and it reworks them. So, for example, and I'll be kind of brief here. They take these ideas around the iconic classes: your fighter, your thief, your mage, your cleric, or in this case, the crusader, and it sets those up as effectively what humans do. Like, those ideas are for humans, whereas your other classes, your dwarves, your elves, your halflings, have their own ideas for the way they adventure. Your elvish nightblades, spell swords. Dwarves have craft priests and vault guards and rune shapers. These are all their unique ideas, and those have their own sort of end game goals that they want to achieve. I would say it's worth checking out, especially for a guy like that, Age with Decibel, or Tabletop Junkie, because of the ideas of what happens when you get to those higher levels. So, let me see if here has it. I just got the PDF, so I haven't had a chance to go through this too much yet. But it's kind of straightforward. What are the key attributes for a spell sword? Strength and intelligence. Are there any special requirements you need to do this? Not necessarily. It has its own max level. What happens when we get up to those higher levels? And do we have the end game stuff? Maybe not. But some templates, so it's not all just the same class here. You could be a flame tongue. Well, that's going to be different than the Beastmaster.
Right.
But anyway, this is sort of rules on campaigns. A really impressive, game master guide for building up worlds. Rules on battles and siege. And Alexander Mechpit has gone to the point of sort of working out the math of what would be the difference between how different would wizards throwing a 10-foot, if the radius of a fireball on a battlefield was 10 feet or 15 feet, how greatly would that impact large scale battles? To say
exactly.
Yeah, 10 feet, a 10-foot fireball doesn't do quite as much damage. It's probably better to be able to keep that balance for the sake of larger scale siege battle.
Oh yeah.
It's really impressive to hear the guy, getting into it. If you want to talk about your in-game politics, all that fun stuff of your thieves guild is trying to take down some rivals to gain control over your local of the south side of this town where you're trying to make a name for yourselves as trying to move in and take territory over.
That's cool.
Great little system. One that I think is an excellent one. If you do like a system like Castle and Crusades, but maybe you want to see like how much crunchier you can get. What more you can do with sort of that late stage game where you're not just an adventurer, where the thought of plundering tombs is sort of beneath you. Where
you guys are getting to that in castles. Isn't one of you guys a lord? Or well,
maybe.
Yeah.
In which case, a game like Adventure Conqueror King System or Axe might be for you. Or if you just want to be like a great superpowered hero going and, always, having all the quips and doing all the silly Billy stuff, a 5e or its derivatives might be for you. I'm not. The thing is, there are games that are good for any end there. There's not really a wrong way to play, because look, if you want to go play a game like Thirsty Sword Lesbians, be my guest. I'm not gonna say it's the right RPG. I'm not gonna say it's the wrong RPG. Well, it's kind of the wrong RPG for me.
I didn't know that was a great game.
Oh yes, and it won an Emmy, which is like sort of an RPG awards show.
I'm surprisingly unsurprised about that.
Yeah, it's something to point and laugh at.
Yeah.
Or maybe you want to recreate some JRPGs, in which case a game like Fabula Ultima might be worth doing, and which is kind of bringing me to sort of a last point of mine, in which I think my goals for next year, because it's October, I'm kind of looking ahead a little bit. I'm planning to try to just kind of play more little pre-made adventures and kind of check out a few more systems. Something to kind of, check a few things out, maybe bring some people into the hobby. That's kind of where my mind is at. Junkie, I know we could probably sit down and maybe we'll try to work something out with these two guys here. We can get them to come play some Power Rangers or some Transformers and, have some big robot battles.
Oh, hell yeah.
I thought that might get your attention.
Big robots.
Who doesn't like big robots? I run a game. I actually ran one session of a game. I was supposed to run 2 or 3 of them, or just some quick sessions. And it was based around, the idea of it was based around the Gundam setting, but I was using Mechton Zeta by Al Tarsarian Games. Giant robots, yeah. People in space. You could be a soldier or a mech pilot. You can do whatever you want.
Cool.
I like mech.
I love giant robots.
Well, guys, I hope I didn't bore you too with too much of the tabletop talk, because it is one of those little passions that I'm sort of feeling myself drawn towards, and it's all this is kind of going into the soup that's kind of filling my brain as of late.
Oh yeah, no.
I mean, tabletop talk. It works.
It's all good. I do like to. All my whole family. They some do it more than others, but we all play the tabletop games every once in a while.
Well, there are plenty of games where, like, if you guys didn't want to stay around for a huge campaign, there are some systems like Power Rangers or Transformers where we could play a few adventures and complete a mission.
Cool.
Yeah. Guys, I think this has been a lot of fun. Do you guys have any final thoughts before we probably wrap it up for the night?
No, I mean, you're not the only people who have been talking about some game ideas and trying to get me to do some tabletop instances and such, which I'm not against. It's just, as I've said before, it's getting a group that's consistent and figuring out how to make that work. And now with the joys of the internet and friends that I hang out with a little more often, it's a little bit more likely that might come about. And yeah.
Look at that, Kunkwall's coming about.
One of the things I've actually, I just did a review on it today. There was two games that I've been actually eyeballing. One because one is Power Rangers and the other is Avatar Legends. Now the game system that powers Avatar Legends is not the most popular, but I think it fits for the setting, and it's like, yeah, I'd be looking to, run a couple one shots with that, and there it is, right there, Avatar Legends, ran about 7 hours ago. But yeah, I'd recommend checking those out. I actually ended up going to this gaming store, and the guy recommended it because he said every time he gets the books in, the books sell right out.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder. Was like, well, I gotta at least give it a look.
I wonder how much of that is kind of tied to the fact that the IP is just that insanely popular still, or if it's how much of it is because it is a really good system.
And you know what, the system, I didn't really care much for it, but you know what? Here's the thing. They're coming out with another book called Uncle Iroh's Adventures. They have like 3 books. I got all 3 of the books they got now. Uncle Iroh's Adventure. It will be coming out early next year, late this year. So probably like I think November. They've already done the backing for it. They're on pre-order right now. And between the next couple months, we are going to see that book reach the shelves. It's not going anywhere anytime soon, so I was like, well, you know what? I will at least try and like the game because I do love the setting. I'm a big Avatar fan. The Last Airbender was actually one of my favorite shows growing up. I just watched like a ton of episodes today. Just sat down with the kids and everything, and we watched a few because they love the Avatar as well. So, this is just where I'm at with it.
Nice.
Did you watch Korra?
I did not, but I'm going to give it another try.
Yeah, I liked the first season of Korra. They kind of get weird with the other seasons, but
I heard the same thing. I didn't really care for it at first, but I was a little bit more closed-minded when I was younger. Now I'm kind of like, you know what? I'm going to give this a try and see about it.
Well,
and thank you for showing that off there, Ryan.
Hey, no problem. Well, I mean, also, the thing is, it was a show and a season made for a different audience. It was exactly. A season where they were trying to chase an audience, and I will say that I didn't really care for like seasons 2 and 3 because it sort of deconstructed a lot of what I liked with the mythos and it basically took a lot of that away.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they took a dump on their freaking own established lore and just kept on just adding more shit to the pile. If you want to continue on with that proverbial, and it was just like, what is why you've already beaten the crap out of your horse? Why, it's just they did introduce some like cool new bending and such like that, like metal bending and lava bending, and like airbenders learning how to fly, and the chi bending is already established, but it's
and the core book actually covers that real well too.
Like that cool stuff is awesome, and I'll give them a plus for that. But like your writing, if your writing is garbage, and there's no actual like learnable moral to your story, it's a blah blah blase blah whatever happened.
I think the writers had more passion during the last Airbender versus the Legends of Korra.
Right. Well, I mean, the problem is they front loaded Korra with a character who's literally you're introduced to her with her going, "I'm the Avatar. You got to deal with it." It's like you're not endearing her to the audience. You're making your main character sort of unlikable. Can you bring that around? Sure, but you got to have enough supporting cast there to make people want to stick around.
Well, once she left the water village, she got a big culture shock, which was great. It was like, hey, I am the man. I am the best. And then you go to the great capital of the freaking nations, and she's like, oh, wait, I am not the man. I
I was a big fish in a little pond. Now I'm just a little minnow in an ocean, Which that was why that's kind of why I liked the first season a little bit, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. There was so much potential, but yeah.
But I think with that, we will draw things to a close. So let's go around real quick. Punkwaddle, do you have what's coming up for you?
Well, I'm gonna work on making some channel videos this week, since last week was we ended up leaving a little bit earlier for San Antonio, so I didn't really do much of anything. So I'll try to get back in the swing this week, and be hanging out with the usual haunts. Like if there's a nip and nag tomorrow, and
There will be.
we'll see. All right, then see where the puppets and friends I'll hang out with, and then of course, hopefully, Snow's feeling better by Saturday to have an official cotton council again.
Official, yeah.
I mean, if
that was a fun stream last. The night.
It was.
Well,
That was a fun stream.
well, if he can't do it, then we should do we'll do a Fortnite stream with the puppets.
Okay.
I don't have Fortnite.
I got a Fortnite gun.
Yeah, I still gotta go get the Doctor Doom skin.
Okay.
Snacks, what's going on with you, buddy?
Well, I've got to set up my computer and get all the stuff I took from San Antonio and make a little video from that. And then maybe definitely nip and nag tomorrow night.
There we go. Sorry, I pulled up the wrong name. I forgot you changed it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's me. Yeah, that was funny. You can see the little picture of Gator and Billy Bob having a beer.
That was fun. That was fun setting up the table with puppets.
That was a fun night. The puppets don't drink, but the fleshies that puppet them, man, we drank a lot that day. But
it all goes in the puppet hole.
yeah, it goes in the puppet hole. Yeah. The blood alcohol, runs through the veins and puppets the hands.
Now, all level, we're pretty high.
In other words, the puppet's butt chug.
Yeah, pretty much.
When you put it out.
Yep. Going to Walmart, picking up a few things like a pumpkin. My annual pumpkin carving stream is going to be hopefully tomorrow, maybe if not tomorrow, definitely Wednesday. So, I'll probably do it midday. So, yep, that's the plan. I might do 2 streams tomorrow. I like to do I haven't done the pumpkin yet. Haven't done the carving pumpkin. So.
True.
So that's
Those are fun ones.
That's the plan. A lot of setting up and whatnot tomorrow, but you know what? I'm well rested today, so I'm happy.
All right, Junkie, we know what you. I think we kind of know what you got going on, but why don't you give us one last time here?
All right, so this Friday I have Call of Cthulhu, the Welcome to Camp Sunny. Just playing that with some friends and seeing how far we're gonna go with that before moving on to other games, and then I'm going to continue with some reviews. As you guys can see there, the next 2 reviews that I'm doing will be on Cyberpunk 2020, the Chromebook 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4 on a different day. The dates are right there. We got 10/29, 11/1, and 11/2. Enjoy.
Excellent. As for myself, tomorrow's gonna be one of those busy days, but I think the big show tomorrow to be tagging is we'll be going live over on Talk Hard with Pops and Stone Loki and Squeaka as we sit down and we talk Vampire Hunter D with Brandon the Anime Guy.
Ooh. Very nice.
But yeah, it's that time of year, and I wanted to have a little bit of a different vampire movie and plus Pops had never seen it, so it's a chance to talk about an anime classic.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen it, but I do love Vampire Hunter D. Yes, that's a good one.
Junkie, have you seen Vampire Hunter D?
long time ago.
Well, my friend, that's the aesthetic I'm talking. I was talking about for like doing the costuming. That's what I was kind of getting head at all week doing our private stuff. But folks, I think with that we are going to call it for tonight. Be good, be blessed. Make it Mecca, and have a good week for everyone. Enjoy your Halloween. Don't go biting those razor blades in the candy apples and what have you. But good night, folks.
That's my favorite part.
Oh.